Shirley was calling you. Woman to woman. I finally got me one with a job. And you won't mess this up. Woman to woman. He only hit me once a week, and he give me a chance to get back on my feet. Woman to woman. You want me to be jealous of that? What was she singing about, Barbara? What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Nicole Patrice, and we here with another episode of Chilindrinas Mas Finas. And today, I just wanted to talk to y'all about y'all mamas. Y'all mamas and y'all grandmamas. And maybe even your grandmama's grandmama. That would be your great-great-grandmama, wouldn't it? We could talk about all the mamas going back in time, because the mothers are truly who carry the lineage, all right? So I had a young person or older person in my comments telling me I need to write bullet points. And, I did on that last episode, but you said I needed bullet points on the episode I wrote bullet points on. So I figured, you know what? If I wrote bullet points on the episode and you think I didn't write bullet points on the episode, then why should I write bullet points on this episode? So this episode, I want to not write bullet points, and maybe you would think I got bullet points. I have some bullet points for you. All right. So here we go. This one, y'all mamas. So now I'm not talking about your specific mama, like the mother who birthed you. I'm not talking about that mother, but I am talking about the idea of what mothered you, right? And so I noticed that a lot of young women, including myself when I was younger, definitely listen to those women who were mother figures, maternal figures, be they our actual mothers or other women, right? So we take those maternal figures and we put them on this pedestal because they've nurtured us, and we assume that the way that they nurtured and raised us was the way that God intended. Woo! Yes, we assume that. And in doing so, we create a space for mothers to give us license to continue certain behaviors, generational curses, and thoughts and ideals that are ultimately oppressive and contrary to what our true nature and development and contributions should even be focused on or created from. We take for granted our own ability to create and our own divine purpose. And our mothers are to blame. Their mothers are to blame, and then so on and so forth. And so at some point, women have to or have decided that they are no longer going to keep allowing those curses to perpetuate generation after generation. Those curses, you can call them what you will, be they the patriarchy, be they depression, be they sexual deviancy or whatever you want to throw in there. I'm not judging you. If you want to say it's wrong to do a thing, then fine. If that's what you feel your divine purpose is to stop this wrong in its tracks because it's been perpetuating through your slutty line of women that came before you, then stop the slut demon. But if you've been called to hate on young women, I tell you that is a lie. I've noticed that overwhelmingly you old, bitter, sour patch kid really don't understand how to keep your mother off. And by letting that out, you really let us see that your brain has been corrupted by semen and because you can't keep mouth. You are so enamored with what phallic worship has taught you to do, the system that has been built around this worship of the you have decided that this is what you are going to lie down your life for. Because you done got in my comments talking crazy, saying things that you would never say to my face. And if you did, you knew what the consequences would be. So you must be. Can I say that? You must be. I bleeped it out that time. I don't understand why you think you have the right to place your insecurities on the women who have freed themselves from the patriarchy. Now, it's fine that you want to believe that the men of your day were better than the men of my day, and you were a better woman and still am, or than I am, right? Because you older, right? Because you jumped through all those hoops that they set for you. Yes, all those hoops that were set by your 80s men, right? Or I don't know, these older chicks, they I guess they telling me about their 70s and 60s men. Yes, those men who were, I guess, what were they doing? What were they building in the 70s? What were our accomplishments, black men in the 70s? I'll wait. Black Panthers, right? Okay. Lunch program, I'll give you that. Fred Hampton, I'll give you that. Right? And then what? Who ruined those movements? I'm trying to remember. Malcolm was taken down by, I think, some black people. Right? Right? Do I remember that? Now, I know the CIA and the FBI, they get involved in these things, but usually they use one of y'all against y'all. One black man against another black man. And that's what happened with Fred Hampton, right? According to, the movie or the docuseries and all of that, right? And even Malcolm, they say, a brother was involved with that. And I mean, okay, so fine. Let's say that was an advancement for the men in the 60s and the 70s. So y'all got civil rights, but y'all needed women to do that, and that movement helped women too, right? So let's not leave that out. And so we have to contextualize things when we say that the men of those days were better than the men of today. Because I don't, that's just saying that just like that just don't sit right with me. Because I can't resolve how such fair, fine, fighting, protective, providing, perfect men were able to produce such scumbags, according to you. I'm not defending the men of my day by no means. They can kick rocks. But what I will not allow you to do is sit here and pretend that them old was doing something so great and grand that you can just forget about them knocking you upside your head, them you, your kids, the dog, all day, all day. I don't even know why I bleeped that out. Unemployed, right? Sitting around waiting on a job, selling in the 80s. He sold that in the 80s, and then they rapped about it. Rapped about it. They rapped about it, then they made money off rapping about the they were doing. And here we are. Now we have my men, right? My generation of men. And now we got cell phones to see what they doing. We ain't had no cell phones to show what Earl was up there doing to you. When Earl was hitting you in your head, Barbara, nobody knew. It wasn't on video. You didn't call the police, right? When Earl was pimping your daughter and your nieces out, you didn't have no record of it because you was scared to be without a man. Y'all couldn't have no bank accounts, till 1970 without a man's signature. Okay? Y'all just got birth control in the 60s. So you had to have all them babies you wanted and had to sit up in that house waiting on him to bring you some money. And they was better men. Okay. What you had to show for it? Barbara? Barbara, what you got to show for your good man? Huh? These kids today? Because you want to excuse that. You want to ignore that. They better men than these kids today. Than these men today. But then goddamn these men did not spawn themselves. These men came from somewhere, Barbara. And now, Barbara, you all bitter and mad in my comment section. Mad because I'm shaking my mad because I ain't worried about Earl and worried about his rings. And chasing him all up in the street. Right? Who Barbara called? Who was it? Barbara called Cheryl. What was the girl name in the song? Woman or woman? Come on, woman or woman. Who did Barbara call? Let's look that up. Who did Barbara call? Who did she call? Woman to woman. Have you ever been in love? Shirley. This Shirley. Shirley was calling you. Then you should know. Woman to woman, I finally got me one with a job, and you won't mess this up. Woman to woman, he only hit me once a week. And he give me a chance to get back on my feet. Woman to woman. You want me to be jealous of that? What was she singing about, Barbara? What was she singing about, Barbara? Was she singing about a good man? I guess, according to Shirley, yeah. Y'all was fighting over him. Now you mad because we won't fight over him. You mad at me because we won't fight over him. Right. You mad because we won't fight over him. You mad because I ain't burning myself up. Nah, that was a slip. But I guess it was what was supposed to come out. I was going to say bending myself up, bending myself over. I said, all of that. Okay. Y'all, you know y'all wasn't using condoms like that. Barbara, don't sit here and lie to me, Barbara. I see the statistics, Barbara. You can sit here and say whatever about you and Earl. Okay? The numbers ain't lie, Barbara. You was getting knocked upside your head. Right? You was having 4, 5 kids. Couldn't go nowhere. Y'all was barely making it. He the only one working. But y'all was, y'all had a house. But he was the only one working. You couldn't even get no bank account. You couldn't do nothing. Right? And then, okay, so Barbara, what we talking about? The 80s? Now they out there selling dope. What we talking about, Barbara? You and your mama wrong. My grandma said, let a man be a man. My mama always told me a man gonna be a man. That's what y'all told us, Barbara. Why y'all say that? What did that mean, Barbara? That mean a man gonna be what? A provider protector? He gonna give you hundreds of dollars whenever you ask. He gonna take you to the mall, spend some money on you, get your hair done. Is that what you meant, Barbara? A man gonna be a man? Is that what you meant? Was that your advice? Is that what you was warning me about? Watch out for them providers and protectors. A man gonna be a man now, girl. That's a good man, Savannah. They all over the place. They just falling like leaves from the trees. And you mad. You in my comments mad. You running up on me mad. Mad cause I ain't fighting over them rings. Mad cause I ain't fighting to be number one in the harem, right? I don't want to be the number one B. I don't want to be the bottom B, Barbara. We don't want to be the bottom B, Barbara. You mad at that? Now you want to talk crazy at me. Why, Barbara? You should be happy. You seem kind of bitter and tight, Barbara. You jumping all off the handle, Barbara. Y'all generation didn't do no self-care, right? Y'all wasn't getting y'all hair done like that. Y'all wasn't getting y'all nails done like that. Maybe here and there. Or you was with one of them D-boys in the 80s, Barbara. Is that what you're talking about? You trying to tell me I should have got one of them 80s D-boys? Well, then that's what you should say, Barbara. Because if you're talking about all the rest of them, I don't know. The rest of them was on the D. The rest of them was on the D, Barbara. And now they on the DL, Barbara. It's just more letters. Come on, Barbara. That's all. It's just more things available to these men now, Barbara. You can't say that they worse men when they just got more options. They just perfected manhood. That's all. They learn from your man. Did my man learn from your man, Barbara? He made the template, Barbara. All of them iceberg slam and all of that pimp stuff. He made the template, Barbara. And he passed that information on. Be it in the DNA or the environment or just plain instructional manuals, be it in rap or books. You know, they don't read, so they got to put it in the rap. What was the literacy rates back then, Barbara? Let me see if I can pull that up. The man was better. You gonna tell me the man was better? What you trying to say, Barbara? I'm gonna be surprised if it was higher back then. Let's see. Literacy rates. Can we separate this by race? Black men in America, living in America. In 2019, only 6% of 12th grade black males were reading at a proficient level. Only 1% were reading at an advanced level. Oh my God, it's horrible. Let's see. Now, Barbara, you might got me on this one now, Barbara. I guess y'all, because y'all was excited. See, that's the thing. That's the part y'all keep leaving out. Black men back then was scared for their life. You know, they was even excited to be able to read then, because you could die for this about what? 60, not even 40, 30 years ago, you could get killed for reading. So they was excited to read. Maybe that's what it was, you know? I ain't looked it up yet, but I'm just making my excuse now. Okay. The black man back then was afraid, Barbara. They was scared of being okay. They couldn't go out doing nothing. Now they still messed around with them white women. They risk life and limb for that. Here and there, you know what I mean? Okay. All right. But they came back home and make sure they you too. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm not laughing at your pain, Barbara, but what I am laughing at is the fact that you really tried that to make me feel like I messed these men up, Barbara. Is that what you're trying to say? It's my fault? Barbara, I learned this from you. You told me let a man be a man, and I saw how all the men was acting, so I let them do that. Barbara, what I'm supposed to do now? You got any new instructions, Barbara? You just keep telling me your man was better. Tell me what to do to fix it, Barbara. You got the answers. Give up the goods, Barbara. You're selfish. That's okay. I'm going to go talk to Earl my damn self. That's what you're scared of, Barbara. Is you're scared I'm going to go talk to Earl my damn self. Earl got that check. Ooh, Earl got that check, Barbara. Sometimes he don't want to, sometimes he don't want to spend it on the right thing. He want to spend it on the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? The wrong thing, Barbara. Let me get Earl's check this month. You know what I mean? That's what you worry about, Barbara. Barbara, what you want me to do? What you want to tell me, Barbara? See, that's the thing, Barbara. I see the numbers. I know what Earl was doing. Okay? I know what Earl was doing. The numbers don't lie. Let's see. Hold on. Literacy rate. I wish I could just pull this up over like the last 20 years at least, but nobody's giving me more than 10 years. Yeah. All right, Barbara. I'm going to let you off the hook with the literacy rate. Literacy rates by year. Let's try that. This is 92. Yeah, that's all I'm getting is 92. Says pretty stable since 92. You got off the hook, Barbara. Pull up them numbers, Barbara. Let me know Earl could read better than my man, Barbara. My man on the internet writing paragraphs about what I'm doing in the comment section, okay? So I ain't seen your man doing that. He can't hardly even send no gosh darn emojis, Barbara. His emojis don't make sense, Barbara. Teach that man. He in my DM, he's sending the wrong emojis. Like, you don't send me the peach. I send you the peach. Earl, you send the eggplant. First you send the cash app. Teach Earl, Barbara. He in their DM messing up. That's what you worry about. You worry about him in that DM, ain't you, girl? She like, when I figure out how to start this other profile, he is gonna be in a lot of trouble. Barbara, what you want from me? But yeah, so I just can't go with this narrative that black men in particular are worse now than they were before. And I mean, even just saying worse now than before, Barbara, it's not really convincing that your man was that good, Barbara. You're just saying you had a trash man, but mine's worse. Okay, Barbara. Thanks for letting me know how gravity works. Thanks for explaining that trajectory for me, okay? It's a tree. The apple's falling. I get it. Barbara, it ain't that deep, honey. It's plenty of them to go around, but honey, I don't even want them, you know? You fighting the wrong one, girl. But you worried about it. Worry about my appearance. Worry about how I'm presenting myself and what the other girl's doing, what we talking about. Okay? Either you gonna sit back and admire the new girls, Barbara, and let us do it the way we decide to do it, or you gonna STFU, Barbara, because you ain't got no answers neither. I seen what you had to go through with Earl. You ain't out here living lavishly off of his checks, off his retirement and pensions. Don't sit here and play with me. You up here working just like me. You 75. What? You 75, Barbara. You still at the work. What you doing? What you doing, Barbara? You trying to tell me Earl was better. Where he at right now, Barbara? The math ain't mathin', Barbara. Y'all be thinking y'all talking to some stupid women, don't y'all? But y'all got to get it together. We got internet now, Barbara. This generation, no. So I'm not about to defend the men of my day to no younger girls. I'm not going to sit here and curse their men, okay? Because that's just ridiculous. What we doing, Barbara? These men the same men, Barbara. They just got better at it. Right? They got more technology. It's too many options, they think. We've been brainwashed and diluted too much. Way too much. Okay. Right. And I mean, in a way, Barbara, I agree with you though. I do blame our generation of women for listening to y'all. For most of the problem is listening to y'all. Cause y'all ain't know what y'all was talking about. Y'all told us to do this stupid stuff. Y'all told us don't get right. Y'all was telling us to keep the baby. Right. Right. Yeah. Cause you wanted to be religious. Now I'm stuck with Earl. You say he gonna grow to like the baby. Give him some time. Give him some time. Let him show him pictures of the baby slowly, slip a 10 with the baby. Then he'll start coming around. Let him see he got his eyes. Give him some make him a meal. And then let him go on off. And he'll be back another 3-4 years. Show him the baby again. Start the cycle over. You gotta get him, slowly in there. Next thing you know, 15 years later, you got a nuclear family. That's what your plan was, Barbara. Right. Now, we probably should have been getting married, Barbara. You right. We might have should have been waiting till marriage. But you wasn't waiting till marriage neither, Barbara. Y'all was using them hangers too, Barbara. Don't sit here and lie, Barbara. You know y'all was doing stuff to make it right. Whew. Don't sit here and lie, Barbara. Y'all was having them babies and sending them up north. Okay, Barbara, don't sit here and try to tell me something I know. Okay? I done ran the ancestry records. Okay? I done seen the newspaper clippings, Barbara. Okay? The blaxploitation movies wasn't making all that stuff up. Right? That pimp culture didn't just fall out the sky, Barbara. Right? Your man wasn't too going too hard to try and stop my man and his daddy and whichever generation you claim. All of that, they ain't do so well that they stopped the crack epidemic, right? Somebody was smoking it, and somebody was selling it, right? Somebody was buying it and somebody was selling it, and they were probably both black like you. Yeah, it came from the government. I get that. But nobody put a gun to your head and told you to kill your brother. Oh, with them drugs. You made that choice. And Barbara, you had a voice. But you took gold chains and fur coats. You was in the club like this, living good off that dope, right? You was cool. Now you want to tell me that these men ain't nothing, Barbara. Why not, Barbara? Was it that powdery substance that changed things, Barbara? You ain't got to be jealous, Barbara, okay? I trust and believe the younger women are not worried about you, Barbara. They not worried about Earl. They trying to catch the men of their age. Okay, you are of no competition to them. I mean, if he wants you, he gonna take you and her. Pretty much, it's gonna be he's equal opportunity. Okay, because especially the way you can yourself, Barbara. Okay, it's giving sanctified. Okay, you save for a special kind, okay? So don't worry about that, Barbara. You gonna find the right one, the righteous one, Barbara. So I know you ain't competing with me for What we doing, Barbara? We on the same side, girlfriend. I thought. What's the problem, Barbara? Why we still competing, girl? We ain't even in the same league, girl. Okay? Y'all out here tripping. I don't know. Is it the gastric bypasses or what? Is it the gastric bypasses or what? It's really, I'm starting to think, you know, that little snap in the stomach and not some snap in your head. You know what I mean? Bitch, we was never competition. You know, I don't care how quick you lost them 150 pounds. You losing something I never had to lose don't make you better than me. I'm just saying, y'all tripping. So we not competing for them, okay? We're not doing it at all. Young women, old women, let's stop that right now. Barbara, you messed up, okay? We trying to clean it up. Let us do it our way, okay? Y'all was doing what y'all want to do y'all way. Let us do this our way. We don't need your input no more, okay? Stop telling us, let man be a man. No. Let him, but let him go over there. We're not going to keep trying to keep him over here and let him be one. No, let him be one in the outskirts. You wanted him in the inskirts. I want him in the outskirts. Ooh, child, okay? And I mean, even like within the women within my own generation, like I'm really tired of like trying to control other women. Like, let it go, okay? Just let it go. Women gonna do what they want to do. Let us be free. This is the time we all should be free. Men, women, everybody. Everybody should just be free to do the thing that they feel compelled to do, as long as it don't hurt and harm nobody else. I feel like we have a lot of insight into our own psyches right now. We have a lot of insight into how human nature has evolved over time and the trajectory in which it's going, especially in the face of like AI and technology and even like extraterrestrial life, right? Like there's a lot going on, right? And so you have to be able to put things in order and have a priority. And the priority ain't trying to check the younger women. I'm 40 and I have a teen daughter and I let her do what she gonna do. Now, of course, I'm gonna correct her here and there, but if she has a ideology that I can't really explain myself, like, how it is harmful, then I'm just gonna kind of let her do that. You know what I mean? Like if I could see like, okay, well maybe I can see how that works, but it doesn't necessarily resonate with me or how I would have operated at her age and myself or whatever. As long as it's not harmful, hey, girl, do that. Okay. If she ain't in no imminent danger, do that, girl, and let her figure it out. Cause I feel like that's the beauty of trusting your own example. See, when you trust your own example, you don't have to control the copies. You don't have to control the results. You don't have to control the products, right? Right? If you make a good original, you ain't got to worry about what the copy gonna look like, right? So, older women, it's not a good look when you're bitter at the young girls. Okay. And I had a fan of mine who wants a shout out. So I make sure I give that shout out to that young lady, or, whatever age she currently is. She wanted to make sure that I knew that she noticed my beautiful, beautiful armpit hairs. Yes, clearly she didn't know that you could grow this. And so I just want to give her a good look at what that looks like. Did you get a good look at that, my friend? Yes, honey. Those are armpit hairs, and I could actually show you some more hairs that look just like those. In a few places, if you like. You seem pretty interested. So I hope you enjoyed that view, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. All right, so that was that shout out. And you guys leave comments below if you'd like a shout out too. I'll show you those hairs personally if you'd like, and you can kiss all on them in all the places that they appear. Oh my God. Well, that was all I just wanted to impart on y'all is that, I feel like the young ladies, give them a break, okay? They need to acquire a little bit more knowledge about themselves. I have been watching Princella Clark, the Queen Maker. I recommend her to any women, period, of all. There's no qualifier, all women, period. She is very insightful into the scholarship that is available around how women and men differ. She has 2 books that are very informative and pretty much a template for how you can maneuver as a woman in your, more mature days. You want to learn this as young as you can, but it's better late than never, right? And yo old raggedy behind definitely needs something to lift you up. So go ahead and take a peruse, okay? I recommend. And so yeah, that insight has really put everything into perspective. I was never really a competitive girl. I've always been a girl's girl and always have rooted for the other girls and tried to help other girls because I know what girls go through, but I've never seemed to have that reciprocated, and especially from older women. And it's very weird, especially as I got older, realizing that dynamic and realizing that it's just rooted in some fake competitive, narcissistic, sadistic crap. It's like you just want to inflict the misery that you had inflicted on you onto another generation, and that is very wrong. I think that makes you worse than any male that has abused you. That right? To want to have that abuse happen to another woman is so sick. I have plenty of stories of that happening to me personally in my own life. Just one example I can give, and I want to say, how old was I? I think I was probably 24-ish, 22-ish, something like that. And there was a woman who I was living with at the time. We were roommates, but she was estranged, had an estranged husband, and he lived around, about 20 minutes, 15 minutes away from her. And she also had her mother living with her, and I believe her sister at the time. And so staying with them for a while was supposed to only be like temporary, but things were not really happening how they were supposed to be. And I ended up, on, like, it was one of those romantic holidays, either Sweetest or Valentine's Day, like the night before. And I ended up at her house by myself, so I thought. And I had my son with me, I believe. Yep. And so I woke up to her husband. I guess I didn't remember or know he had came in or something, or I don't know. I just know I was alone when I went to sleep. I thought I was in the home alone, and then when I woke up, he was there. So he had a key, or she let him in, or I don't know what the exact situation, how it happened. But the next thing I know, I wake up and this man is under the blanket with me while my son is laying next to me, beginning to fondle me. And so this man, like, I woke up, I remember I just was screaming and grabbed my son, and I went and locked myself in the bathroom because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know him like that, and I'm just like, this is crazy. And so turned out she had spent the night at her boyfriend's house. So she's married, got a strange husband. He's at her house, and she's at her boyfriend's house. This is just nonsense, right? And so I end up calling her and telling her, like, your husband's over here, and he tried some ish with me. And so she basically, her and her boyfriend come flying out there with a gun, and it's a whole thing. The guy runs off, whatever, they beat him up. So the next day or so, and a few days later, I overhear them talking about the incident. The mom of the wife, right? The woman who I was staying with, and her mother and her sister, I believe, were having this conversation. And I overheard, and they were basically saying, like, I told you that's what he would do. Yeah, you got to pay me my money. They made a bet, and they actually set it up. So they gave him the key or told him to come over there and told me to come there, or however it was. They ended up arranging this to happen, and they were happy that this was the outcome and someone won money out of this. These were 3 women conspiring to have me. 2 generations of women, right? 2 generations of women that did that, right? A woman and her daughters, to her daughter's friend, to her daughter and her daughter's husband, to her granddaughter, because they had a child together. So you're also doing that to her granddaughter. You're creating a dynamic. You got your granddaughter's father pumpkin headed off of some you wanted to make a bet about, because honestly, it wasn't about the money. It was about humiliating me and your daughter, right? Ultimately, right? You obviously was getting off of humiliating her too, because how is that not humiliating? Sick. So don't tell me about how your men was so much better and how much better you were. Y'all were sick in the head. Y'all let so much stuff go away and happen. You know, you can sit here and act like those Tyler Perry movies and those Lee Daniel movies and all those Color Purple and all that stuff. You act like that stuff didn't really happen that often, but you are telling a lie and you know it. It may not have been the majority of the time, but it was happening. And it was happening a lot, and we were turning a blind eye. But I want to believe it was the majority of the time, because all these women can't be lying. We can't have this gut impulse to spot abuse from what's the word? Epigenetics, right? We can't have the epigenetics that already dictate that we know what an abusive man look like. When we saw Keke Palmer baby daddy attacking her in the public, it's not the fact that he was criticizing what she was wearing. It was the way he attacked what she was wearing. It's okay to say, you know what you're wearing is making me uncomfortable behind closed doors, and have that conversation as an adult, as a male, a man to his woman. To have a mutually respectful relationship, you must have those mutually respectful conversations, right? But you're not having a mutually respectful conversation when you go online and you try and tell somebody what to do and shame them. Public shaming, exile, shaming, those were all forms of punishment. You try to punish her. When someone is trying to punish you without license or due process, that is abuse. Right? So he was abusing her publicly on the online platforms, right? And then so many women reacted to that because we saw what was the projected outcome, right? Because we've been through that. If we have not personally been through that, we know someone who's been through that. So don't sit here, Barbara, and try and tell me Earl was so great when we got generational trauma and reflexes to show that they wasn't that great, and the men you know now just getting publicized and recorded more. They just falling more to the pressures of a fallen American society. The trends are all moving the same way, Barbara. Crime is going down overall. We can say that, right? Violent crime, right? So if we look at those statistics, we already know those affected just a general overall trend. But pretty much everything else shows that actually men are getting more mental health help. They are more into self-care, just like a lot of our generation of women are more into self-care. The unemployment is pretty much neck and neck. Like, hold on, I found something. So yes, I mean, here we go. This is PolitiFact. I don't know why I'm in PolitiFact. Here we go. All right, so Barbara, I just want you to see this here. Typical length of time on the job, about the same. Men getting mental health then and now, about the same. This is 35 years ago, okay? I'm sorry, not about the same. The mental health is way more men, right? What's this? Let's just start at the top, Barbara, because I got to let you see this. Men from 35 years ago, how they compare. Barbara, look at this. Men from 35 years ago, how they compare to now, girl. Back in 1988, Men's Health came out. It was an interesting time to be a 35-year-old man. First off, there were hardly any health magazines for men. The internet was largely AOL. Everyone was reading Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time, listening to Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy, and watching Jessica Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Our TV dads who weren't Dr. Cliff Huxtable, were Dan Connor and Al Bundy, guys who were physically present with their families, but always with a beer in a chair after a hard day's work. Drinking. On the big screen, 35-year-old Michael Keaton bugged us out with Beetlejuice, and Bruce Willis himself was 2 years shy of turning 35, proved Hard to Kill in Die Hard. Classic. We were entertained with a kind of pre-social media chill, but really how were we? Excuse me. Our men's health research team dug through the data to determine the state of 35-year-old men then versus now. In general, a higher percentage of today's men are exercising and taking care of their mental health, and fewer are smoking and drinking. Did you hear that, Barbara? Did you hear it? But a higher percentage are also carrying too much extra weight and take prescription medication. And men today have fewer close friends than they did 3.5 decades ago. That sound like just technology, Barbara, don't that? Because what makes men carry more weight? They ain't more active. They not active because they ain't got to walk around and do stuff as much because they got Uber Eats and DoorDash and shit and, you know what I mean? Cars and stuff. They ain't got to walk, right? They ain't got them programs in the schools no more like they used to in the sports and stuff, right? It's too much estrogen in all the food, right? Right? Taking all this prescription medication because they got to deal with you, Barbara. They got to deal with me, Barbara. They got to deal with me. And put them on them. I put them on the pills, Barbara. And they have fewer close friends because I keep them at home, Barbara. Earl was out there making acquaintances. I ain't gonna gaslight you, Barbara. Our body life expectancy, all right. So life expectancy, 71.5, now 73.2. We living longer, Barbara. The men now living longer. Height and weight, 5'7", 5 feet 7.5 inches, 160 pounds, 198 pounds. They're a little more hefty, they're a little chunkier, Barbara. He gave him a little bit of hips right there, Barbara. He got the hips. But it's okay. We still love him, all right? Barbara, men who don't spend any leisure time doing something physically active. See, Barbara, they don't get active like they used to, Barbara. See, they shoot now instead of duking it out, Barbara. That's all. I told you it was the technology, Barbara. They got guns, Barbara. They don't got to stab no more, Barbara. They don't got to no more, Barbara. Obesity among men. Barbara, you see that? So yeah, they more obese, Barbara. You get that one. Barbara, they don't smoke as many cigarettes now though, Barbara. You see this? They switched to vaping and they do the marijuanas, Barbara. They do the edibles and the marijuanas, Barbara. Alcohol went down, Barbara, just a little bit. I just feel like this is just not a win for men if either. I'm not defending my men, Barbara. I'm just saying it's pretty even, Barbara. They not that much different, Barbara. You really try to make it sound like the dudes now is just really on some other stuff. Some of them might put on dresses a little more often, but that's about it. What's wrong with that? As long as he don't stretch my dresses out, I'm not finna trip. No. Prescription meds, Barbara. We didn't drove him to the pills, Barbara. That's why I told you we got our mans our depressed. It's about to stress them, okay? Testosterone levels, I don't know what these mean. NG per DL, nanograms per deciliter. I don't know. So that was pretty close, I think. Let's see, ND per DL, because you know I'm a nerd. ND per DL. Nanograms per deciliter. Oh, that girl cold. I didn't even know. Bitch, I'm cold. Anyway, all right. So, worry not for the fate of healthy men. Healthy levels of testosterone typically land between 264 and 916 nanograms per deciliter. This slight dip over a quarter century might be attributed to an increase in the rates of chronic diseases and obesity in men. Okay, we ain't cooking for them no more, Barbara. That's all. We just started giving them McDonald's and they took it. They accepted it. They wasn't gonna knock us in the head like they did you, Barbara. They knocked you in the head. Said, go in there and make me some damn greens. How many times I gotta tell you I wanted some greens? And put the ham hocks in there. You was giving them life, Barbara. We give them McDonald's. Our life, average age, at first marriage, then 26, now 30. So they waiting longer to get married. They waiting longer to buy a home, male and female. And they are first-time fathers just slightly later, 2 years difference, 25 and 27 now. Men who have 10 or more close friends, excluding family, down from 40% back then to 15%. People who are married, then 53.26, now up to 61.44. They marrying more, Barbara, but they are divorcing less. Barbara, what you trying to tell me, Barbara? I don't know. Client said he's seen more clients pursuing open relationships. People may be changing the nature of their relationship the way that they might have only done previously by getting divorced. He said they may not see marriage as essential and so may be more enthusiastic about it if they do marry. So we more open to different situations. We know they gonna cheat, Barbara. You was in denial. We have accepted it. That don't mean they change, Barbara. Average retirement amount. Then 13,072, now 35,808. Barbara, that pension was short, Barbara. That's why you still at work talking crazy to me. Typical length of employment at one job for then now 4.3 years. Men getting mental health treatment then 4.4, now 14.6%. They trying to get better, Barbara. They went crazy listening to you, listening to Earl. We all going crazy. And now we getting mental health and taking pills, Barbara. And you want me to believe that these men are worse. Don't make sense. Keke Palmer just found out that her men ain't no different than her mama's men. I don't know nothing about Keke Palmer daddy, so let me take that back. But I'm just saying that generation versus our generation, it ain't much different. She just got the camera. She just caught the camera, Barbara. She caught the footage, Barbara. We was still getting our heads knocked in. No cameras. Barbara, stop being delusional. What you trying to defend? What do you win from this? You done got all of the you can get up in you. It's coming out your ears, Barbara. It's dripping out. You've had enough. Give it up, Barbara. Let someone else ride that. Needs defending Brandon Johnson like they getting some from him too. I need Mrs. Oh, I can't. Do I need to bleep her name? I need Mrs. Johnson to ask the question: why are all of these riding your whack ass husbands? You know he ain't that good. You know that man ain't no good. Why they all riding his? Ask yourself. They all trying to get a in their mouth. He's a good mayor. He's a good mayor. He's trying his best. He's trying his best. I know he tried. That's why I voted for him. I know I agree with most of Willie Wilson's. I agree with most of Willie Wilson and Paul Vallis's policy points, but it's talking about Brandon. Y'all phallic worship got y'all messed up. All y'all want to be Disney princesses, and it's just not gonna happen. Kevin Samuels tried to tell y'all. Y'all got bad at him. Barbara, I don't know what to tell you, girl. But you gotta stop, Barbara. You gotta stop thinking that your man is better than mine. Woman to woman. Barbara, don't you know? girl gon' chase after every hoe. Woman to woman. Barbara, what you defending? Oh, you better worry about changing your depends in, Barbara. Saving some dimes so you can cash in your pension all time. Whoa. Ooh, you don't know I ain't gonna fight you over. And that $400 RSDI. Girl, I ain't trying to be chose. He can hand me the money on the side. Barbara, just, girl, give it up. You got too many things to worry about, girl. Your back giving out. Just stop worrying about Earl, girl. Just stop worrying about Earl, girl. That sounds like something I need to write. Oh, don't you be worrying about Earl, girl. Earl gonna do what he wanna do. Don't be chasing him and you look a fool. Earl gonna do what he wanna do. Don't you chase him like a fool. Ain't nobody worried about Earl, girl, except you. Ain't nobody worrying about that but you. Oh my God. So on that note, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. But I just wanted to let y'all know, like, ain't nobody worried about y'all dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Young, old, you know what I mean? Why you worried about them? Girl, live. So go read the 41 Shades of Men, okay? Go find the five components of love, okay? Go watch Priscilla Clark. Go watch some Shira 7, okay? Stop worrying about these raggedy dudes, okay? And learn you something, okay? Grandma was not right. You do not just let a man be a man all over you, all over your back, and piss on you and tell you it's raining, okay, girl? You better than that. You don't need golden showers, okay? You need power showers. I don't know. Get the dirt off. Get that dust off. Get that ancient dust. That ancient Earl dust up off you, okay? Just power wash that Earl dust off your body. Get that power wash that out your mind, okay? Let that go. Yes. All right, y'all. Peace. I don't know what none of these sounds do. I'm just messing with stuff. All right, cool. What that do? Yeah. Just letting you know I'm in here, period. Check it out. All right, now for real.